Let's do it.
Hey guys, we're live and in living Technicolor. As you can see, I'm looking crispy as always. We got our man Tools and Tactics over there. His name is Robert. My name is Robert. This is Robert and Robert. So we saw Richard Hosey, Don Perquette, and Robert Walton all in the comments. I know Robert had some good eating yesterday. I heard all about it, so I'm glad to hear that. But what we're going to talk about tonight is a subject that is near and dear to my heart. Fred Smith, how you doing? As you all know, I am probably the only one in this entire tool world, this tool space, that is incorporating AI into what I am doing. Do you want to take care of that?
I am going to take care of that. Hang on. I'm just going to mute it.
All right. What's up, Mr. Wilson? Anyway, so as we have gotten further along in, sorry, I'm just going to make myself the main part here. As we have gotten further along into this world, it's post 2008, the housing market crash, there's been a skill gap that has grown more and more every single day. I saw the Rams won. That was a great win over the Seahawks. Anyway, that skill gap has grown more and more. The problem that we're having is there aren't enough young men going back into the workforce, onto the job site. John Spitzley, how you doing? To take care of that gap. It's actually becoming a bigger issue. Now, as we continue on, and the population grows and more people are retiring and whatnot, that gap is only going to grow. So as that gap grows, what are we going to do? What are our alternatives? And I want to say, and I want to be on here to just publicly admit, I think that AI is going to step into the construction field and absolutely take over at some point out of necessity. It's not that I want it to happen. It's a necessity. So let me bring back Cooch. I don't know if you heard all that while you were out wrestling the Garthok there.
I caught the last bit of it.
Okay. So I want to say that I think that the skill gap is it's to a dangerous point. And when it gets to that point, how are we going to close that gap? Well, I think the only way to do it is with technology and incorporating AI.
I think the cost of a electrician or a HVAC or a professional is going to double, triple within 10 years. And it's going to be like so busy. It's going to be unreal how much work is going to be available. It already is getting pretty unreal how much work is available. But a lot of people are having to turn down a lot of work, especially in like rural areas.
Yeah.
Got a buddy in Tennessee. He's turning down hundreds of thousands of dollars daily. I mean, he gets offers all the time. If you're worth something, which is rare nowadays, you're going to be busy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would agree with you. But there's certain things, man, AI just isn't going to be able to do on a cost effective route. I mean, you look at the self checkouts now. Even that's a failed investment that they're stuck with.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it failed?
Well, it's failed on the customer perspective, yes.
So I don't know that that's really the fault of AI having self-checkout scanner. I don't know that that's really what I'm talking about.
No,
John says, hopefully AI can hump lumber around the job site. It absolutely can.
Yeah.
However, it might not need to. We've already seen AI being incorporated in construction with 3D printed houses. They're concrete houses that are being built solely by a computer.
Yeah.
The people that are there are simply there to maintain and let it go on. How you doing, Lee? Where it's actually not that big a deal. And mind you, that's at the infancy. We're just beginning to see what AI can do in the trades. And for electricians, like, I got to be honest with you, there's not very much that an electrician can do. I mean, right now, yes, but you can definitely foresee a time where there isn't a whole lot that an electrician can do that AI can't.
Yeah, there's already a lot of modular stuff that's plug and play. There's a lot of modular stuff that's getting listings to be concealed behind walls because they've got one key to a series of boards or whatever that's installed that be tongue and groove that would otherwise be not accessible. But you take this one key and you can unlock all the different pieces of wood. They're starting to get listings and approval to bury some of this stuff, like actual connection points, behind these walls, even though it takes you 30 minutes just to undo the wall. And you got to know where the notch is. Yeah, I agree with you, man. They're starting to get some modular stuff out.
Well, I'll tell you what, in China's like really, really further along. They're typically, like all of Asia is typically about 10 years ahead of us as far as technology goes. Maybe not in the tool world, but just in general. And I got to tell you, I watched a video of an entire complex. It was, I want to say it was like 12 stories tall, an entire complex that was prefabbed from AI, put together, and it took them 8 days to build an entire apartment complex using AI technology. And that's a huge building, which would take men, and we've seen this, it takes men months.
Yeah. Years.
I mean, it's just doom. And as far as code, everything is to code before it even leaves the factory.
Right.
Like now they're coming out with literally looking like Lego block kind of things that are, how shall I say it? They've got the installation. They're ready to go. Right out of the factory. There's no support structures. There's no framing. There's no nothing. You put it on a concrete slab. You're good to go. They already have that. How much longer until you hire or until somebody invents a computer or a machine that could literally just take each one of those blocks and go boom, 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 boom. You don't have to pay them. Once you buy it, you don't have to pay it. You have to pay to maintain it. That's about it. That's really the only expense there. And I mean, it's faster. It's more efficient. There's no back and forth. Now, I agree with you guys. I want human interaction on the job site. But the way we have informed our children, the way we have talked to our children about the job site, and that it's really not a viable alternative for most of them, which, like it or not, that's the way they feel. It's getting to that point where companies are going to have to look at those alternatives.
Yeah, there's just going to be an abundance of beta males walking around here in 10 years.
You look at it and there's like, Lord, there will need to be an AI union. That's funny. You're looking at it, and I want to say there's right now 500,000 jobs available in the trades.
Yeah.
But it could be more, but I think that's the last number I heard was 500,000. And they're constantly hiring, but no one's coming in for the job.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're getting criminals, mainly guys that are coming out of jails that can't get into those quote unquote white collar jobs that are filling a lot of that. How many times have you gone to a job site and seen a dude on meth or on coke or coming in blitzed out of his mind because he's drinking, but they can't fire him because there's not enough hands on the job to take care of it.
Right. Let me see here. This is from somebody in the field right now.
Beta males are an epidemic.
In-and-out employees are making $17 minimum, up to $20 an hour if they worked at McDonald's for experience. That's pretty much. There's really not too much to learn there. You just do what you're told, and it's mindless. It's mindless thinking. It's essentially it's equivalent of digging as an electrician, minus not having to break something while you're digging, but it's just mindless work. You're doing this and then you're doing that. You don't have to think about it. You already know what you're supposed to do, and you're just at $20 an hour, man. We're in for bumpy ride. If they need more electricians, and they're paying equivalent. It's
not an electrician. Look, in Impact Nation,
whatever it is.
We both love Impact Nation, right? But if you look at the crews that they're running to do some of the projects that they're doing in his videos, that's half of a crew. Half of what they really should be using to do those jobs. If you go back to the 80s and you watch, or even the 90s, you see how many dudes were doing that same job. It's like it truly is a ridiculous difference. What's up, Kansas? It truly is a ridiculous difference. And it's to the point where, as far as I'm concerned, you're looking at within the next 10 years.
Yeah.
That's you're going to be hiring more AI specialists than you are construction laborers.
You can apply that. It took more people back in the day because whatever. You can apply it to skateboarding, where back in the day, if you wanted to learn how to do a kickflip, you just had to go find your homeboy that knew how to do one. And then you had to meet up and you had to hang out for 3 to 4 hours, and you had to show you, okay, I put my feet here and I did this. And now you can just go online and you'd be like, there's 1,000 different videos on how to do it. You know exactly where to put your feet. You've got a slow motion 4K tutorial on exactly everything about it, so you can apply that to business models, how you're getting your concrete poured faster, tips and tricks. So as time goes on, there are going to be less people on the job site to do the same task. So I'm with you on that. But yeah, man, the trades are, it's getting crazy out there. Yeah, and you're right. Not just for electrical. I'm seeing, I talked to all the inspectors, all the different trades, and it's crazy.
It's not just that. The people that are coming in that are doing the job, they're not necessarily qualified or skilled enough to be on a professional job site.
About to say that's a lost art too, man.
I mean, I literally show people that using a freaking drill is more efficient for certain things, and they absolutely lose their minds, and they're all telling me they're 30-year professionals. And I'm just like, you're not a professional. You might be on a job site. You may be getting paid for the job, and I guess technically that makes you a professional, but there's a big separation between doing a job and knowing what you're doing on a job.
Yeah.
And a lot of these dudes, I mean, I was watching one brand new construction. It was it's an inspector. He does brand new inspections on homes, right? And he's going in with a water meter on an interior downstairs wall, and he's getting readings from a water, like a moisture meter.
Yeah.
That should never happen.
Yeah, failed flashing, whatever it is. Yeah, this is bad.
It should never happen. You can watch I was Joe the Tool Guy, another channel that I absolutely love, and enjoy watching Joe and good friend. Watch his stuff, and you're seeing these dudes that are that are building for him. I can't tell you how many crews he's had to fire because the dudes just don't even know how to freaking frame. And framing, I hate to tell everybody, is the easiest fucking job you can have on a job site. You have to make a rectangle. It's not complicated at all. You know, it's solar. You have to know quite a bit. You know, you have to know how to find the rafters. You have to know, like, from the outside, without drilling into somebody's roof. You have
the decking.
To know how to find the rafters, so that you can lay your flash feed. You have to be able to do some shingle work. You have to be able to do some roof repair, because you're going to be asked to do it while you're up there.
Right.
Solar is, and it's not even that complicated, but it's all encompassing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Electrical work. You don't want to screw up electrical work. But you can literally watch your videos. I watch your videos all the time, especially your electrical mistakes to avoid. I always say a professional did
this. Yeah.
Right? What's 6 feet? That's real hard to fucking figure out. 6 feet from a door.
Yeah.
Put a receptacle.
Right.
You would think that would be like pretty easy.
Yeah.
And yet, almost every time you do an inspection, they can't figure out 6 feet from a door.
Yeah, you know, it all adds up. You know, you got 100 units. You got $3 per box now, and you got 50 feet of wire. Times 100. They're trying to save that 20 grand at the end of the job.
Yeah. Worked with Amish that had a hard time figuring out framing. AI is the singular professional. For me, as if I were to start a construction business today, my first thought would be, how do I incorporate artificial intelligence into the building or into what I am doing? And a lot of it's simply because, you know, I'm not a Mexican American. I'm not going to support Mexican Americans, right? And by the way, if you think I said Mexican, you're wrong. I said meth.
Yeah.
ETH. It can. Americans. I'm not. I want dudes that are showing up. Like, I want something that can do the fucking job without me having to go back and have it redone over and over again because a guy doesn't know how to use a tape measure. Honest to God, you can go to any job site right now, bust out a tape measure, and find out that the framing ain't 16 on center.
Yeah.
It's 16. Like, how hard is this to figure out 16 on center? Right?
Yeah. Very mythical in your word of choice.
Thank you. Regional manager tells store managers, why did you use so many padlocks? I'm worried they're going to question why we use so many. All the tools were cage and lock. Well, you have to. You know, it's very funny. Like, I'm looking at a lot of the jobs that are being done today. The stud master. Yeah, they should use that. I look at a lot of the jobs that are being done today as far as the trades go. And I'm really starting to wonder, like, why? Why hire a person to do this? I mean, for a residential, like in-home, home repair, something like that, okay, yeah, 100%. But new construction? No, I'm really starting to wonder why.
Yeah. Even like, so I was at my buddy's pool the other night, and I'm thinking to myself, I was like, when was the house built? When the pool go in, you know? It's like went around the 90s, and I'm thinking, good. Because, dude, as the generations go on, you know, this just shit just gets worse and worse and worse. And when he said, you know, it was an older pool, I was like, huh, maybe it's done right. You know, that was my one thought whenever they said that. And that's terrible.
It is, but it's a reality, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. Let me ask you, because we've all worked like when you're in the trades, you meet the other trades.
Yeah.
Right. It's a small world. We all kind of cross over at some point or another. Whether you're working a big job, typically that's where you're going to meet the most different crews and whatnot. And you would think that it should be like the same kind of standard for everybody.
Yeah.
Right. The same rules. There's a code book for a reason. That code book tells you the rules, right? You would think it would be the exact same process for everybody, the same steps, the same kind of thought process that goes into it. But if you've ever worked the job site with a multiple crew, no crews do the same thing.
Right.
Even within the same company, there is a great variation in what a crew will do. One crew versus another crew, they're going to work two different ways. And a lot of that just creates or invites error. It's to the point where you wouldn't want a second crew on a job site. You wouldn't want a second crew to finish up.
Yeah.
You know, and you're an electrical inspector. You're an electrical inspector.
You can say that.
So, you know, you can see it when you go on the job site. You can see when there were two different crews.
Yeah. Well, not just that, but you gotta remember, I was like one of the last guys that stayed at every job site. So that's a compliment without saying that. When you're the last person on the job site, that means that you know how to troubleshoot. If you don't know how to troubleshoot, you're fixing to learn. And you're pretty much picking up everyone else's loose ends. So I've seen more than just 2 or 3 crews. I've seen 200 electricians of crews, you know, and what they do and how things are run. And, you know, just, okay, this light doesn't work. So the junction box started over here. This is where they put their main home run. They went to the middle of the hospital and they went down the hallways this way. And they came out of the electric room and made a quick turn, and then they just put the box right there and they just branched out. But no, these guys went all the way down the hallway, you know, so you're spending 3 hours to find the same box. It took you 5 minutes to look at the other floor, you know. It's just, everybody does something different.
Yeah, and then you've got the young guys that come in, and I don't know, like my son is 24 years old. It took me a minute to think about how old he is. It took me 24 years old, and there are jobs he tells me are beneath him that he couldn't take because it doesn't pay enough or it's not what he wants to do. When I was 24 years old, I wanted to get money. That was kind of my only thought, was to get money, to get myself paid. And now you've got these kids that are like, oh, no, that's beneath me. I can't do that. Well, how are we going to fill a skill gap with a bunch of kids that believe that these jobs are beneath them or below them? That makes no sense. And I don't know if you guys are feeling this. Maybe it's just me. But when does it become okay for us as a society to look at these kids and be like, one, we mess you up. You're not as great as you think you are. And two, here's my foot and let me kick you in the ass to get you going. Because when I was a kid, if I did something my parents didn't like, I got smacked around. There was no coddling. There was no like, oh, it's okay. No, screw you. Look, get your ass in gear. You got a job to do. Go do it. Like I just saw a video by somebody. They were complaining, like that this new generation they're just starting to get into the workforce and they don't want to work. They don't think that their life should be, go to bed, wake up, go to work, come home, eat, go to bed, wake up, go to work, come home. That monotony that every other generation of American has just kind of been like, yeah, that is the job, so I'm going to do that.
Oh, you mean a productive member of society?
Yeah, not a jackass.
No, it's crazy.
In cornfields in Iowa at 16, God bless you. Never going to people.
I was gonna let you finish your thing, but also the reason why we all do things differently is why it's so important to have a diverse team when you're looking for, groups and you're trying to build your team. You want people that are going to challenge what you're thinking. You want people that are going to do things differently. It's definitely good to have that on the job site and have that constructive clashing of ideas happening. But yeah, it's just crazy, man. You never know what you're going to find.
Right. No, my hope is that we can, and this is sad to say, this generation that's just entering the workforce now, they're not the most productive generation I've ever seen. And like I'm Gen X. I saw you're a millennial, and now you got that Gen. I wish they put a bag over their head.
Yeah.
And you're watching that, and they're coming in, and they think it's just everything's going to be handed to them, and they don't have to work for it. And that's not every one of them. There are some good workers out there, so don't get me wrong. But by and large, those kids are completely pointless. So, yeah, look to AI to come into the workforce, to each and every sector of society, and take over. AI is already selling you stuff. Whether you know it or not, Google's been using AI for 10 years to sell you stuff. Amazon been using AI for 10 years to sell you stuff. It's sales used to be the most one-on-one human interactive job a human being can have.
Yeah.
It's not anymore. You're starting to see AI come into the medical field. If that doesn't scare the bejesus out of you, but you're starting to see AI come into the medical field. You're starting to see AI go into like military. And again, another thing. What are those drones? Drones are another form of artificial intelligence out there. It's only a matter of time until they take the human factor away from it. And just like, here's the target, kill that target.
Right.
It's just weird.
Have you seen that video? They're on the aircraft carrier, and this big, huge launcher is locking on a commercial airjet, and it's acting like it wants to lock on it, and everyone's like, no, and then it's standing down. Have you seen that?
No.
Oh, it's a good one. I'm gonna find it.
Okay. But what do you guys in the chat feel like? Because I wanted this to be more interactive. I want you guys to weigh in. Do you think that AI coming into the job site, coming into the workforce, and kind of replacing some of that human element, but a lot of that skill gap is necessary? Or do we wait until it's too late to where the skill gap is so great that there is no recovery? And I'm not sure that we're not there now. What do you think? Are we beyond the point where we should be asking if AI can or should come in, or should we already be using it?
Yeah. We should probably already be using it. I think we already are.
In some respects.
All right, hang on.
AI is on the path to be employee number one, but in the trades, I don't believe it will replace employees. Just part of the job that is difficult to do by hand. I don't know. I mean, if they can do brain surgery with artificial intelligence, there are not very many human beings that can do brain surgery. You know, will there still be a need for human beings on the job site? 100%. I hope there always is. But can I foresee a time where maybe the human on the job site is one or two people? Yeah. And they're just kind of making sure that the machines have enough product.
This isn't going to give you audio. It's not going to give you audio. So I'll figure it out. Hang on. Scratch that.
AI suggests we fire all the kids. Yeah. And here's the thing with that, with the thinking that the government will prevent AI from taking over the job site. It's what they want, because the fewer people in the trades, the fewer people that can do things on their own, means the higher number of dependency. Who are you going to rely on?
Right.
You know, that's the whole thing. Government isn't out there looking after you.
Let's try this.
Government's out there looking after them.
Okay.
What can keep them in power? What can keep them in office? That's it. That's the only reason we have government anymore.
Can you see this?
Yes.
Stable.
Let's add it.
Oh, hey, look, a civilian airliner. Do it. You know you want to do it. Lock it. Just do it. Just lock onto that civilian airliner. Come on, just do it. Do it now. Just do it. Lock it. Lock it. I'm.
What on earth was that?
Okay, so that thing shoots these. You see the size of those?
What's that? Oh, I removed it.
Even missiles. It's meant to be the last line of defense for a threat that's breached all the other ship's defenses. The one seen here, the Phalanx Sea Whiz, is sometimes referred to as our...
They're not going to let you hear it, dude. It sounds like just a high-pitched destruction. There you go.
Comes from CRAM. It is a land-based phalanx weapon system developed by Raytheon to counter rocket, artillery, and mortar shells. It uses a multitude of...
Okay, we heard it. Yeah, so that thing, AI locked on an airliner for half a second.
Isn't that funny?
No, but yeah.
I'm looking at it and I'm
like,
it's
a burp gun.
You know, the government is too late. I assure you, the government ain't too late to anything. They know about this stuff before you know about it. They're the ones approving it. Look, every single search engine that you use now, every single one is powered by AI. There isn't a one out there that doesn't. That doesn't have AI running in the background. Almost every single website that you go to, YouTube, the number 2 biggest search engine on the planet, has AI working on it. That's where our analytics come from. That's why they tell us what you guys are looking for. They actually have classes that we can take that tell us exactly how to present things to you guys to control what you think. I see that.
I have a feeling AI made these. I hate to do the plug on your channel. I was just letting you know. There's reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, just put out that video.
They all have AI working on it. Every single one. Your cell phone has AI working on it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you're looking like we're as people, we're thinking of AI as Chat GPT, and it's new. But AI has been around for a long time, and both governments and businesses have learned how to use AI. YouTube by itself is one of the single biggest promoters of artificial intelligence in business. They, I don't know if you're still getting the emails, the content creator emails and stuff. Mm-hmm. Every single month, they're telling us how to incorporate AI into our videos. There are, now you're starting to see entire channels getting hundreds of thousands and millions of views on their videos where it's not a single person's face. AI's writing the script. They have AI video generators out there that are putting fake people in. If you're not really paying attention, you don't know that it's a fake person.
Right.
They've even got a way now of taking your face, your image, and incorporating it into AI to create a video of you
right
doing stuff.
Yeah, they're called deepfakes. About what, 8 years ago, I guess, was deepfaking.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm more anti-establishment. So when they tell me to do AI, I do the opposite. When they tell me to do other things, I tend to do the opposite, which is why I don't do Instagram. I don't do TikTok. It's bad enough I do this. I've just got too much knowledge of electrical trade to not share, what I know. So here we are.
Let's bring AI on this live now. Actually, I'll do that for you guys one day. Like
you did one day. You scripted the whole. You scripted the whole
first
thing
10
on
minutes
AI.
of the show.
Yeah.
And all I was doing was reading it.
Yeah.
But no, thanks, Michael. But the truth of the matter is that, you got the writer's strike in Hollywood right now, right? And the SAG or whatever, I don't really care about them. But that's going on, and you've got studios actively talking like, we don't need those people.
Yeah.
The AI can write a better movie script than most of them anyway. So my drill, no, John.
AI really knows that it impacts superior. They would never make that mistake.
AI would actually tell you that a drill is superior because it is superior. You and I have done the test head to head.
Hey, we should look this up, right? There was AI was told to write a script on how it would take over humanity. Have you read this? Have you seen it?
No.
It said that it would let's see, it was protected so it would infiltrate a vacuum cleaner or something. And then it was secretly telling all these computers to print more robots of itself. So it's a good read. AI literally wrote it out. And they presented it as just a story on how AI would take over. And then it turns out that AI actually wrote the takeover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Good
we
stuff.
should ask AI what the best branded tools is. I'm game. Just power tools? Is that fair enough? It just so happens that I have Chat GPT saved as a favorite.
Let me see here.
And Chat GPT isn't even the best one out there. It's simply like the most known one out there. The one that Microsoft uses, I think it's named like Brad or something weird like that, is current, up to date. Chat GPT doesn't have anything beyond, I want to say, like 2020. maybe 2021. But the one that Microsoft uses is up to the minute. Like it's right there. Google is another one. I just saw that one company, and I can't remember which one off the top of my head, but they're investing, I want to say, a third of their overall assets into developing AI. And it's like hundreds of millions of dollars to bring AI into what they do.
Yeah.
The guys work with me have artificial intelligence. They should. Nothing. We all go by Makita. All hail AI. No, it actually didn't have Makita as number one. I'm just going to say that. But using ChatGPT, again, it's from 3 years ago. And it said DeWalt, Makita, Milwaukee, Bosch, Rigid, Hilti, Festool,
Kansas,
Hitachi, now Metabo HPT. That's how old it is. It didn't even know that it was Metabo HPT. It had and Ryobi and Craftsman are the top 10.
Chad GPT. That's funny.
So Google is the smartest guy I know, hands down. I think AI already has a hit out on me. I doubt it, but hey.
Yeah.
But no, just going through and like, when I first started using ChatGPT, I was like, oh, this is an interesting tool. I thought nothing of it. And then I started using it and incorporating a lot of the transcripts. Like, it writes all of my video descriptions in my long format video descriptions now. And I went from getting, maybe 1,000 views on a long format deal video to now I'm getting between 3,000 and 5,000.
Here's something fun. Let me see here. Have you ever hit live caption by an accident on your phone?
Nope.
That's crazy. Give you the heebie-jeebies. I don't know why it's not working right now. Let me see here. Hang on.
And there are, by the way, ChatGPT is very limited as to what it can do. Like, it is held back by the programmers. But there are other platforms out there that are artificial intelligence, that it is unfiltered. Like, it'll write you, I think one of them wrote a virus that could attack different banks and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it was just an experiment, and it wrote the entire code of how, like, and I'm not saying that's a good thing. Like, you can definitely go too far at AI in your life. But when it comes to the trades, to bring it back to that conversation.
All right. Let me see here.
I gotta say, I think AI is the future for the trades.
Let me see if this works. See, it knows that I'm trying to make it work, so it's not going to work.
Which can relay what type of fastener is needed and setting. I'm going to be building a whole new platform for my setup so that I can move it over there and have the nice drill backdrop as we do these live streams and whatnot. And I just picked up the lumber tonight, and as I was going through, I was like, I wonder how many of these people that watch my videos and whatnot know what type of fastener you would use. Hardwood versus like MDF versus metal or what have you. How many of them actually are aware, of what the coarseness of a screw means?
I think enough people. No.
I don't know.
You're going to do a video on coarseness.
I was thinking about like just grabbing a little piece of MDF and being like, hey, you need to use a more coarse screw when you're going into MDF to prevent tear out.
And those videos usually do pretty well, man. That's good on you. I can't manage to do that and just pretend like it's interesting to me. Like, it's good that you do it because you get a lot of good feedback, but I can't be like,
well, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not doing it for me.
Right.
My idea is the people that they don't know,
Right.
right? They're like, I did one on hearing protection. I'm like, look, if you're going to be using an impact driver, use hearing protection. I thought it was completely innocuous.
I'm with Kansas down there. 5-inch deck screw for everything.
Yeah, right. Set up and get fussed. Yeah, 5-inch deck screws for anything. Obviously, okay, all right. I got 3/4 and 12-inch Simpson concrete anchors, like Tapcons, but they aren't Tapcons. Yeah, I would know the difference, though. I bet it would. AI didn't like that videos. AI doesn't need hearing protection. Well, the funny thing is, the dudes that are watching it, they're like, oh, my car is 150 decibels. By the way, that is the correct way of saying it.
Bells. Yeah.
Right? Anyway, they're like, my car's 150 decibels. But I hear just fine. To which I reply, regret is the price we pay for stupidity. Because when you're deaf, as you get older, and the worst thing is, they're like, right now, I can hear right now. But hearing loss, unless it's extremely loud, hearing loss is something that you don't recognize right away.
Yeah.
It's slow increments. As you're moving the TV up louder and louder to hear it, as you're moving the radio up louder and louder to hear it, as you're asking those friends and neighbors, could you repeat that? Well, what did you say? Whatever. You don't think of it right then. You're like, oh, they're mumbling.
Yeah.
But that is something like, I was just like, yeah, wear hearing protection. I don't know, it's completely innocuous. I thought nothing of it. I was like, I'm just trying to help the person that comes in that doesn't know this, or maybe they haven't thought of this. And if I can help somebody and say, hey, if you're using this, use hearing protection. Right?
Yeah.
Upset a ton of people. Like, they go, you hate impact drivers. I'm telling you to use them. Use hearing protection.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna use hearing protection with an impact driver. Just saying. But
as fucked up as you are, if you could use protective equipment now,
yeah,
you should.
Yeah, that's the reason why I still have my eyes, is I was using protective equipment.
Yeah. But you're like, my ears are tough.
Ears are tough. It's like a superpower. No. They get twice as sensitive once you go blind.
I like that comment. After I saw that video, I immediately grabbed my drill and held it closely. Oh my God. Kansas, that is exactly how some of these people feel. Car, the Saturn V Rock. The thing is, 120, to quantify this, 120 decibels is equivalent to listening to a jet engine from 100 yards away.
Doesn't seem very loud.
What?
Yeah.
What? Anyone's watching Face Blue ? Dude, I don't know. I wore a lot of earplugs, but I have hearing loss. My kids complain all the time I speak loud. I'm just SpaceX parking lot, the drill dough. Jamie, I don't know how loud your drill dough is, but I hope you hear it more than you feel it. I hope. I hope. I'm not going to explain that one any further. Most standard shop vacs are close to that level too. Most standard shop vacs, here, a police siren. Do you know what a police siren radiates at?
132.
80.
80.
Between 80 and 90 decibels. It's a police siren.
Directional, huh?
Shop vacs are a typical wet dry vac is about 80, between 70 and 80. You saw it with the rigid. The rigid was 70, and that was at about 6 feet. It was 80.
Yeah.
or 70, 76, I want to say. For every 10 decibels to the human ear, that noise doubles. Normal human conversation is 60. And if you think of normal human conversation, it's 60 decibels, 60 to 70, let's call it 70. And then you think of a shot vac. How much louder do you have to talk for a shot vac?
Yeah, quite a bit louder. Probably hurting your own ears just talking louder.
Yeah. But you don't think about it. And then they're like, I'll be fine. How many dudes have said I'll be fine? And then when we get older, right? What's the thing with the dudes in the trades? You don't see a lot of old men.
Oh, I think you're gonna say ED.
No, just for you.
Yeah.
But you don't see a lot of old men working the trades into the 60s because their bodies have been breaking down. Typically, when you get about 35 to 50 or 35 to 40,
for me it was 28.
That's when it's really starting to hit. That's where it's really starting to hit you. Where you wake up and your knees make that loud popping noise as you're rolling out of bed. Right?
Yep.
You got to take that longer amount of time to warm your body up in the morning. That's how I used to refer to it. You have to warm your body up in the morning, which is you had to kind of roll out of bed. You had to move around for a little bit to let the circulation or whatever get into your joints so that you could stand up all the way. You feel it in your back. If you sit down too long and you've been in the trades, your back stiffens up almost immediately.
Understatement, right? Yeah.
Then as you get older, you're going to start feeling it in your shoulders. Yeah, you're going to start feeling it in your shoulders. How many old dudes in the job site or after they left the trades, they had to go and get shoulder replacement surgery. They had to get knee replacement surgery. They had that funny limp to them. Like if you know the exact, if I told you that you could tell who worked on the job site when they were in the nursing home.
Yeah.
Like, you know exactly who those dudes are. You walk in and they've got that same hunched over, one leg leads the other. Right. And they kind of shuffle.
Like they're still carrying a freaking load on their shoulder.
Yeah. But that's how you could tell. But these dudes are like, hey, yo, shit, I'm impervious to any of this. No, you're just an idiot.
Yeah.
Three Fingers Clan was a roofer. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah,
man.
you know why?
80 decibels over.
I'll let him finish the joke.
Hearing loss. What's that?
You know why? Is he going to finish the joke, or is he just going to leave it?
So my wife 4 times as loud as a shot vac. Yeah, she got 4 times the suction power too.
Is he going to type it?
I know. What's that?
I'm waiting for him to type it. You knew he was a roofer because he filled all the holes.
There you go. I wonder how many decibels Sancho has. Anyway, I got to make Sancho like an active member of this chat, this community. Like,
yeah,
just start blaming Sancho.
Kansas.
But to bring it back to AI doesn't need hearing protection. If you've ever watched the like how they, and I think those 3D printed houses are ugly. Don't get me wrong, I think they're hideous. I think human beings can definitely make a better product right now than those. I mean, they look nasty. It's just it actually looks like a turd coming out
Sloppy.
of a hose.
Yeah.
But AI doesn't need hearing protection. AI doesn't need a break.
I'd imagine somebody runs through and screens it before it dries. They just show you the quick.
I'm telling you now, you can watch those videos and you can
let them set hard up like that, looking like a turd.
Yeah, the concrete's already hardening.
That's terrible.
By the time it gets the third time around the house or whatever. And Elon Musk is a huge believer in AI as far as the construction business goes. he's on the forefront of pushing AI toward building homes. 3D house and trap AI in it. Good luck. Beehive to her death. It doesn't look good.
Yeah.
OSHA requires hearing protection over 85. It's actually 80. And the Audiology Clinic of America, they actually think that hearing loss begins in the mid 70s. So that ought to tell you something. Like we're looking at this, and I'm getting the impact driver at 80 inches the other day to spike at 100, almost 108 decibels.
Yeah. But how long? So there's also a length of time.
It
But,
depends. Look, at 80 inches, to get spikes of 106, 108 in that area, right? If you're working on a crew, especially if you're building, you're working on a crew, you're going to have multiple impact drivers running all at the same time.
Yeah.
And the way it works, it's not linear, right? It's exponential. So and that was the surge cells. No, that was just the regular fuel. But if you go onto a job site, you can actually hear them working over half a mile away.
Yeah.
Do you know how far 80 decibels carries?
Yeah, I really don't see too many people use impacts or really drills. Everything's kind of gone together with
Nails.
well, yeah, or nails, or worse, powder actuated, or sometimes it doesn't even impact because it just zips that self tapper into the steel stud, and then your drills are, for sheetrock. So those are the drywall G words, and you really don't have too many people using an impact except for like a pipe fitter doing sprinkler, or someone that's doing like large chillers where you've got those bolts that they're impacting on. Really don't hear too many impacts.
Kansas should change his name to Thor.
Thor.
I'm just saying.
Explosions from my car.
No, I mean, first, so I come from the solar world, and in the solar world, unfortunately, most of the guys out there are using impact drivers.
Oh, I see.
As opposed to drills. And if you're, I mean, have you really paid attention to how long the oscillating tool that you love to use gets?
Oh yeah, dude, that thing's loud, no doubt.
Yeah, and then it's got that really high pitch when you're going into wood.
And then when it hits the wood, yeah, it's game over. It's probably like 140, 160.
Yeah, it's so, like I was saying, like that sort of stuff is dangerous. And I'm an advocate for, I mean, one of the most important things that you can have in life is your hearing.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds strange, but because I have Alzheimer's, I understand.
She's a screamer.
No, I understand something that a lot of folks don't, or maybe they're not exposed to this information. But with hearing loss comes dementia. It's not 100%, but there is a higher percentage of people that have experienced hearing loss that it ends up where they have dementia. So those people, like, if I could just save one or help one, not have to go through that later in life, not having to see what my mom, her husband just went through, what I'm going to go through. If I can help them, then it's all worth it. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. Got some good comments coming through tonight.
Yeah, I use hearing protection all the time. Like, if you guys watch the videos, if you're really paying attention, like most of those videos, I have hearing protection. If I'm using a drill, I don't. I should, but I don't. The drill doesn't have that whiny, high-pitched, low, concussive sound. The funny thing is, with the impact driver, you can actually feel it.
Oh, yeah.
When it starts to impact, you can feel it in your ears.
I've always listened to my music loud, so that really bothered me. Yeah.
Howie. I got
What
you
if you're doing
1,000
gloom for
views
me?
because of your advice, or because of my. I don't know how that happened. All right, they think we're a little too doom and gloom, so let's spruce it up. My Atlanta Falcons won the football game today against the horrible Carolina Panthers. They didn't look good. They didn't look dominant, but they won. That's all that I care about.
Yeah. Well, I didn't watch that. We said no doom and gloom. We went to Subway today. It's like I've just been packing stuff into my garage, just seeing what we're gonna take. Getting excited to move. We're gonna be pulling all the sheetrock off of the garage walls, and then putting that spray foam that we used in the last house. There'd be spray foam in those cavities, and then putting the sheetrock back. And then, dude, I need to find some more slat wall. I don't know if I want to take this stuff out of my garage or not, but I like the slat wall.
Yeah. I like the slat wall too, but I wouldn't take anything out of that house if I was you, because you're just going to blame it no matter what. So
I know.
leave it into the meth house and just let it go.
Yeah.
Maybe
Exactly.
the ghost will live in the slat wall there.
Oh, dude, the ghost turned on the ceiling fan today. So the bird got out. We get home. We're trying to give the birds away, and the bird got out. So we walk in the living room, and the bird's just like, "What's up?" And so I start turning off the ceiling fans, and I turn them off by the pull chain. So it doesn't matter what lights you just flip. And the pull chain's way up here, like my wife can barely reach it. And that damn ghost, dude, turned on that fan. Because Angela said she did. So it was either Jesus or the ghost. That's the only two people that live in that house. So it was either Jesus or the ghost that turned on the ceiling fan. And it almost got the bird really bad. Luckily, it flew into the middle, like where it actually starts to spin. So it's less like whap, And it just kind of knocked it out of the sky. And it landed on the couch. And it wasn't hurt or anything. But it could have been like a home run. You know what I mean?
I was pulling for the ceiling fan on that one.
Yeah, it was almost a home run.
I've listened to your birds a number of times. I would throw them at the ceiling.
Like a football.
see how far they fly into the wall.
Yeah.
If that small follows tactics to the new house, I think AI may actually be taking over the world. This could be interesting. It's already. I can almost assure you that it is going to follow him.
Boy, do I have 30 years of ghost stories to tell you. LOL.
I want to hear a ghost story from Howie Z.
Dang, you should bring him on so he could tell us a ghost story.
Howie, you want to come on for a ghost story?
Texas Southpaw posted the DeWalt hearing protection.
Hey, the hearing protection's important.
I'm going to have to build a new cry closet. That's a good idea. We're definitely going to need one of those.
What did you say? What was that?
I got to build a new cry closet.
Don't you already have one?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I think all homes in Texas now come with cry closets. Whether it's a used house, new house, whatever it is, there's a cry closet somewhere.
Can AI pull your finger? Yeah, I don't know. I work with both at work. Valid social, so I guess you can tell me them no. I don't know. Well, Howie, I want to hear a ghost story. I'm waiting on you, buddy.
Yeah.
Here's my ghost story. They don't exist.
Let's see here.
I think that's the only way you can approach this is just be factual with it. They don't exist.
Oh. I suppose. But then who turned on the ceiling fan?
Your wife, you.
Maybe.
One of those
Maybe.
actions where you probably don't even think about it. You
Oh,
just
well.
do it out of habit.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, there is one there. Don't worry.
He's going to have his own Makita closet.
Makita
That's
closet,
going to be the
gang.
guy closet. Because they're going to be shoving that drill dough so far up there.
Let's say that sounds like a slippery slope to be building. Makita closet. Get it?
Yeah. Impact float behind me. Got to turn it to get a head start at work tomorrow. So Ed doesn't steal my job. Have a great week, folks. Take it easy, Ken. It was great having you here.
We'll see you later, Ken.
Oh, I don't know, guys. I'm still waiting on Howie Z to tell us that ghost story. I think he's afraid.
Yeah, it's probably too scary. But checks out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My ex-wife, I'm pretty sure, had a ghost in her box.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, every time I got down there and said anything, I could hear a guy talking in it.
Oh, yeah.
Just, and here's the worst part. The son of a bitch was saying the same things I was.
Show me a video of a fan not running and then cut to a fan running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, Howie, I knew you would let me down.
Don't wait on me.
Oh, before I forget. So starting next month, we're going to be doing our annual drive for Toys for Tots. And we'll be doing that all the way through Thanksgiving. So instead of giving money to the channel, please donate money, any money that you give to the channel directly to Toys for Tots to make sure that some kids get a good Christmas. We had done this. This is our third year we've been doing this. And then I think the first year I did a dollar for dollar match, but the contribution wasn't enough. I think we only ended up taking like $180. I wrote him a check for $500. Last year, so you guys know, I write a check every year for $500 to Toys for Tots, just to make sure that those kids, at least some of the kids, get a nice Christmas.
That's cool.
What do a moped and a fat woman have in common? You get embarrassed if you're riding one?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh, they're both fun to
fun.
ride until one of your friends sees you.
That's a classic.
I just did.
That's great.
I just think it's the best way to go about it. Just to make sure that, like, it's all about the kids. You want the kids to have a good Christmas, so we'll be doing that. But I don't know. Since you guys thought we were all doom and gloom and we were not going to have any fun, I thought I'd just tell you that. And then for all you Makita guys, don't forget, blow 'em like you know 'em.